fats and oils are affecting our overall health of our minds and bodies at the cellular level. Without the proper metabolism of fats in our bodies, every vital function of every organ is affected. This includes the generation of new cells. Our bodies produce over 500 million cells daily. During the cell division, the cell and the new daughter cell must contain enough electron-rich fatty acids in the cell's surface area to divide off completely from the old cell. When this process is interrupted, the body begins to die. In essence, these commercially processed fats and oils are allowing chronic and terminal diseases to take a hold of our bodies. A very good example would be tumors. Dr. Budwig noted that the formation of tumors usually happens as follows. In those body areas which normally host many growth processes such as the skin and membranes, the liver and pancreas, or the glands in the stomach, and the intestinal tract, it is here that the growth processes are brought to a standstill. Because the dipolarity is missing due to lack of electron-rich, highly unsaturated fat, the course of the growth is disturbed. The surface active fats are not present, the substances become inactive before maturing and shedding process of the cells ever takes place, which results in the formation of tumors. She pointed out that this can be reversed by providing the simple foods such as cottage cheese and flaxseed oil, which revises the stagnated growth processes. This naturally causes the tumor or tumors present to dissolve, and the whole range of symptoms which indicate a dead battery are cured. Dr. Budwig did not believe in the use of growth-inhibiting treatments such as chemotherapy or radiation. She was quoted as saying, "I flat declare that the usual hospital treatments today, in a case of tumorous growth, most certainly leads to the worsening of the disease or the speedier death in healthy people, and can quickly cause cancer." Dr. Budwig discovered that when she combined flaxseed oil and its powerful healing nature of essential electron-rich unsaturated fats and cottage cheese and the rich in sulfur protein, the chemical reaction produced makes oil and water soluble and easily absorbed into the cell membrane. This diet program is very practical and can be easily combined with and integrated with juicing and genotype diet.
My name is James, and I decided about a month and a half ago that I needed to start taking better care of myself, lose some weight, and I've been a vegetarian for about 30 years. But just being a vegetarian doesn't necessarily mean that you're eating healthy. A lot of vegetarians eat a lot of processed foods and simple carbohydrates. And I came in to see Dr. Dong, and she had suggested at the alternative health clinic here, and she suggested the Budwig diet. And since I've been on this diet, I've lost about 14 pounds. I've got a lot more energy than I've had, and I've been trying to lose some weight for 3, 4, 5 years. You get to be in your 50s, and you start thinking about that kind of stuff. And this has been pretty amazing, actually, how well I feel since I've been on this diet that she had suggested.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Budwig was born in Germany.
This is how to make the Budwig diet protocol, am I correct?
Yep.
You introduce a bit before you play.
Yep. This is actually by Sandra Olson, and her video has been extensively followed by several around the world, and it's very easy, it's very practical, and it's a good opportunity for us to see how it is made, and also at the same time, each one of us, we are also able to follow the simple steps that has come by. Okay, let's take a look at Sandra Olson's the preparation of a Budwig diet.
Hi, I'm Sandra Olson, and today we're going to make the core recipe from the Budwig protocol that is helping to heal so many people who have cancer and other conditions. Flaxseed oil is a highly unsaturated oil and contains essential fatty acids that the body needs every day, but that most of us do not get in our regular diets. Research has shown that essential fatty acids help to protect our cells. An important part of this recipe is the bonding of flaxseed oil and cottage cheese. The sulfur protein components in the cheese make the oil water soluble and help to carry it into the cells where it is needed. It also thins the blood so that it flows more easily. So let's get started with this very important recipe. I'm going to start with 3 tablespoons of cold pressed flaxseed oil, and I'm using the Barlean's brand, which is a favorite of many people. Of course, you can use your own brand of flaxseed oil that you find at a local store. Be sure to buy the regular flaxseed oil rather than the high lignin, because we're going to be grinding our own flax seeds and the lignins are in the hulls. And also look for the expiration date to make sure that you have plenty of time to use the oil during the time that it's going to be fresh. Next, I'm going to use organic low-fat cottage cheese to go with the oil. Now I'm using Nancy's brand cottage cheese, which has probiotics, and they're very good for the digestive tract. Of course, you can use whatever brand you find that is good. Organic is excellent, and you want it to be low fat. I'm using 6 tablespoons of cottage cheese because our ratio is 2 to 1 of cheese to oil. And it doesn't have to be exact. Notice I'm using rounded tablespoons. You can also make your own cheese. Some people do. They make quark, or you could make yogurt cheese or kefir cheese. Now I'm going to blend the oil and the cheese with an immersion blender. And that's what this is. It's a long stick type blender with 1 blade, and is especially good for blending small amounts of food. This step is really critical because it's the core to the Budwig diet. So it's important to blend these 2 foods so that they bond. And the bonding is essential because the sulfur proteins in the cheese connect with the oil molecules and make the oil water soluble, allowing it to easily be digested and assimilated into the cells of the body where it can do its work. Now typically it takes about a minute to blend these 2 foods, and I'm just going to ease the blender in and out of the cheese and oil as I blend. All right, now what we have is a very thick whipped cream like result. It's sort of like a thick creamy yogurt, and that is exactly what we're looking for. We want to make sure that there is no oil separated from the cheese. That's the goal. Then you know that the 2 are really bonded. And now I'm using 2 tablespoons of whole brown flax seeds. And brown flax seeds are cheaper than golden flax seeds, and they're the ones that we prefer. I'm going to put them into the coffee bean grinder so that we have freshly ground flax seeds to put in our recipe. And I need to grind this for about a minute so that they're well ground into very small bits. So I'm going to do that now. And they come out nice and fluffy. And I'm going to put them into my mixture and stir it around. Now, if the recipe is a little too thick at this point, you could add a little more milk. It's depending on how thick your cheese is. But this looks pretty nice. It's a nice density. You could even add juice if you wanted to, some organic grape juice or something. I'm going to put this mixture into our bowl. And we've got a nice fluffy recipe here, kind of like a pudding at this point. And it looks really good, and especially once we add our fruit, it's going to make a big difference. The value of freshly ground flaxseed is that they offer fresh lignans, which are major cancer fighters, plus they contain omega-3 fatty acids. So don't buy packages of already ground or milled seeds because they lose their value within 15 minutes or so. And so it's best to buy regular whole brown flax seeds. They're less expensive and they're healthier if you grind them yourself. Next, let's add some fresh fruit to our recipe. Dr. Budwig emphasized the value of berries. And in the last several years, there's been a lot of research showing the strong cancer-fighting value of all kinds of berries because they have ellagic acid, and that's what fights the cancer. So I'm taking a half cup of blueberries and adding those to our recipe. And I'm going to take some strawberries and add those. You can also add different kinds of fruit, whatever you happen to like. But let's just stir these around a little. Okay, and now I'm going to add a little Brazil nut flavor to it. Brazil nuts have selenium, and that's a strong cancer fighter. Be sure that you're choosing raw nuts, not roasted, not heated in any way, because the heat can damage the oils that are in them. And when I buy raw nuts, I usually keep them in my refrigerator to protect the valuable oils in them. I'm going to also add some walnuts that I have already broken apart. And that's it. It took about 5 minutes to make this meal, much faster than making an unhealthy breakfast such as bacon and eggs. And this is really delicious. It will fill you up and stay with you until you're ready for your homemade vegetable juice during the mid-morning. That's what's next on your menu. So here's to healthy eating. I'll see you at the next meal.
Thank you. And that's the sharing about how actually we could make Budwig protocol in the comfort of our own home. And this can be done probably once or twice a day, depending on the need. And of course, many are concerned now. The flaxseed oil is available. We can purchase anywhere we want. But the cottage cheese sometimes can be a challenge. And in order to overcome this particular challenge, we have there are so many videos that talks about how you can prepare your own cottage cheese in your own home. And we have one, and I'd like to share this with you.
Today I want to share with you how to make cottage cheese the easy way. Hi sweet friends, I'm Mary and welcome to Mary's Nest, where I teach traditional cooking skills for making nutrient-dense foods, including bone broth, ferments, sourdough, and more. So if you enjoy learning about those things, consider subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to click on the little notification bell below. That'll let you know every time I upload a new video. So I call this cottage cheese the easy way because we're going to make this without the need for rennet. And rennet is something that's used in the commercial cheese industry to make cheese, but it's often not something that we as home cooks have on hand. Now you can certainly buy rennet. You may have to order it or find it at a specialty grocery store, and you can use that to make cheese at home. But for the most part, it's nice to be able to make cheese without having to worry about having that on hand. So today we're going to make cottage cheese using just milk and vinegar. Now, as I said, this is the easy cottage cheese. Is it exactly like the cottage cheese that you buy at the grocery store that may be made with rennet? No, but it's going to be very similar, and as I said, it's very easy to make. And cottage cheese, like a number of other cheeses, are what I think of as on sort of a continuum of cheeses that are made on the stovetop in a pot or a saucepan. And as a matter of fact, you may even have heard of old-fashioned pot cheese. And that's sort of on this continuum of cheese making at home, so to speak, where you have cottage cheese, you have pot cheese, you have farmer's cheese, and you have ricotta cheese. And again, now that's sort of the easy ricotta cheese. It's not the true ricotta cheese that's made from the whey after making mozzarella, but it's a ricotta cheese that's made in a similar way to making cottage cheese, like this in the saucepan. And I'll make a video about how to make ricotta in that way another time. But I just wanted to give you that little sort of overall picture that these are all similar cheeses, easy-made cheeses, like the cottage cheese, the ricotta, the pot cheese, the farmer's cheese. And the only real difference is exactly what temperature you're going to warm the milk to, whether or not you're going to add cream, whether or not you're going to add salt, how long you're going to heat it for, what temperature, so on and so forth. So they're all slight variations and they produce a slightly different product. But basically, they're all easy cheeses that are made right on your stovetop. And the nice thing about all of these stovetop cheeses is they're all made without the need for rennet. Okay, the class lecture is over. Let's make the cottage cheese. So basically, to start, all you need are 2 ingredients. You're going to want 1 gallon of milk and 3/4 of a cup of white distilled vinegar. Now, you can also keep some salt and some cream on hand, but we'll talk about that because that comes after we've made the cottage cheese. And you can use raw milk or you can use pasteurized milk. And another nice thing about making homemade cottage cheese is that you can use skim milk, also known as non-fat milk. You can use 2% milk, or you can use whole milk. So you can make this any way you want. And the nice thing, as I said, about making this homemade and being able to choose what type of milk you want, if you're following diet plans like the Trim Healthy Mama program and you need fat-free cottage cheese, you can make this version at home with non-fat or skim milk, and it's going to be much tastier and much nicer than the product that you can get at the grocery store that's called fat-free cottage cheese. Well, what I've got here is pasteurized whole milk, and I'm making this with pasteurized whole milk because that's the easiest milk, I think, for most of you to find. But as I said, you can also make this with raw milk, which I have access to, but I know a lot of you have told me that you don't have access to that. So just go ahead and have a nice big heavy saucepan. This is an enamel cast iron pan, a heavy stainless steel, heavy bottomed stainless steel pan will work well as well. So this is, as I said, cast iron stainless or a heavy bottom stainless steel. Pour all of your milk in. Now the next thing we want to do is heat this milk gently, because milk you have to be careful with when you're warming because it can burn, especially on the bottom. So we just want to put this on about a medium. Today I want to share with you how to make cottage cheese the easy way.
Yes, this is going to take a couple of extra minutes, and what I would encourage you to do, each one of our listeners, please take down the link here. And it is self-explanatory, and you can watch it at a later time while we'll continue with the rest of our programs that we have. So please take note, mark down the YouTube KYC9PGADTXS as the link, and you can continue this video. It is a good one, and it's incomplete, and we will not be going to wait until the milk gets hot. So with that, we'll just move on to the next part. Please take note of the video link. And then what we want to do is basically to give you a summary, Budwig protocol. And this is something that we need to know, and I would like to encourage you, just take note of some of these key points here. Number one, the key ingredient of an oxygen and alkaline-rich cancer diet is Budwig protocol. It is combining the omega-3 fats of flax oil with the sulfur-treated protein of organic low-fat cottage cheese. Now, this Budwig protocol help more suffering cancer patients than any other food or supplement or any anti-cancer protocol. So these are tried, and they have given us a tremendous amount of success. So this is a combination that needs to be put into place. And of course, what is the recipe? The recipe basically is 2 parts of cottage cheese and 1 part of organic flax oil. What we need to do, as we have seen Sandra Olsen's video, is mixing the cottage cheese and the flaxseed oil with the handheld immersion blend that needs to be put into place. And of course, what is the recipe? The recipe basically is 2 parts of cottage cheese and 1 part of organic.
The newest add-on machine, so make our water even worse. So,
Yes.
so that we can understand better and we can explain to some of our old customers. Thank you very much, John and Anthony, for sharing.
Okay, I thank you for Rita for asking me this question. Why I play this again? Because recently I have seriously one cancer patient. She suffered from cervix tumor, stage 4, and spread to the rest of the organ, quite serious. So what happened, he came to my shop and asked about Kangen water number 8 and all the K8 lah. And then actually he is referred by some of my network in Kota Kinabalu. He came to see me, but at the end, of course, he buy from my member lah. Guess what? When this person sold him the machine, he sold him this the last one, the resonate water using cold and hot water one, also radiant the water. He put the water inside there and drink. And then after drink for a few months, I called and asked her, how are you going on, everything? She said that, oh, get worse already. I said, got worse? What do you mean got worse? I said, how did you tell me how do you drink the water? Oh, I forgot to tell you, the person who sold me the K8 also sold me this resonate water, the last one, with cold and hot water one. So I put the water inside the machine. Wow. Then my alarm clock calling, I get him, can you bring your machine back? I want to see how it changes my property, affect the water, and how come you got worse? You did not follow my instruction. I didn't follow the American anti-cancer recommendation, all these things, right? So I need to know what. So he brought over the machine, and that's the last machine. I did a lot of study on that one, but I only showed 3 slides only because of time not permit. Guess what? You wouldn't believe it. He bought another machine. He bought another machine that hurt. And then he told me, got worse again. I said, what worse? The whole cervix was removed. Okay, now under radiation about 36 times. And now all the hair all drop off and getting worse, my friend. You see what happened? A good water, medical water from Japan. And so-called somebody come and say, I improve your water coming in. And say that, I'll make it even smaller. And now end up, I can tell you, it's killing her. So that's how Bob Wright was saying that one of the video I showed you guys before. He said tragic things happen when one make a wrong decision. This is the right decision, but somebody misled her to buy that machine and changing our property. Our machine Kangen K8 is already proven medical device, certified by the Ministry of Health, certified by preventive adult diseases, everything drink fresh, Not going to change anything. So thank you, Rita, for bringing this up. So that's what
John, can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Just touch on this this machine, what they call magnetic wave. Yeah. Magnetic wave is the short form called the magnetic wave actually is a form of waveform. So they create radioactive particles inside. So actually, we try to eliminate the radioactive wave. But this one, when they use it, they added in the waveform inside because of the radioactive wave, the micromagnetic waves I call the so it vibrate the water, so that water is through the very high frequency of vibrations. So they become a microcluster in a very, very short time, and it disappeared. So when the person drink it immediately, they see the result, but they didn't know that they also take in a lot of radioactive the radioactive wave into the body.
Oh,
So it make the water more harmful. So a lot of people didn't know that what's the difference of the microwave wave, you see? So that's the radioactive wave to vibrate the water. It's not through the electrolysis way like what Kangen water is doing. So when they use the water into that form, they create more harm for the body. Okay.
Let me
So
in other words, you're saying that the radio wave also can
Yes.
get into the cell through the so-called low microcrystalline water lah.
Yes, because the wave is still inside the water.
Oh,
So you see, microwave, the wave, what type of wave we can see? Like our phone, there's a wave. So the microwave that we try to eliminate. So phone, the microwave, oven, a lot of things they have this microwave in the atmosphere. But now they put this into the water, the additional in water, and then as what you say, the person is sick. They consume this water, it make them worse.
wow, no wonder. I see, I understand now. No wonder I did a test. After I did this test, I did another test for the Chinese group on this Thursday. So what happened this Thursday at 8 o'clock, I have already broadcast to you guys. You'll be talking in Mandarin to Chinese group in China and also Malaysia group. So what I did using terahertz water, I using Kangen water, K8 and 9.5 went in. And after went in, I test the ORP specifically before charge up. After charge, wow, the minus antioxidant become reduced to like about minus maybe about 170, 80. Reduce actually, that means the wave that caused the negative charge to be reduced, right? Yeah. Correct?
Yeah. So in the other way, and I mean their machine, they cause more harm than good.
Oh, that's right.
Cause more harm than good.
So
And
listen
then,
up. Good. Yes.
And then in the market, there's many type of this type of thing. Actually, is from the same company. They just change their name, change their packaging because after some time their sales is no good, they change another brand. It's the same mechanism.
Oh, I see. So that's
Same
how
mechanism.
and then 振动 resonate or
Yes,
this
all these are the same.
Same technology lah. Okay,
Same technology. It could be the same maker, just change the packaging.
I understand. Got it. Okay, it's good. Thank you very much. This is John Well was talking to me today. Was sharing just John Well. He was saying that this technology is nothing new. Actually, in 1950, they're already using this technology for treatment. I think in Russia or where, but they're using a very powerful, resonate.
Yeah.
But now they make into using very low voltage so that you get less radioactive wave.
Yeah.
So
similarly, micro vibration. Micro vibration means it's very high harmonic waveform that our naked eye cannot be seen.
Oh, got it.
It's 1 terahertz is equal to 1 trillion cycle per minute.
Oh, I see.
Very fast. So they create the sort of waveform they call the harmonic wave, and this harmonic wave they also create the they call the bad, what they call the harmonic wave is another form of waveform.
Yeah, I see. So it's comparative. People say microwave food cannot use microwave now. So those waves are similar wave, is it?
Yes, because it's another form of wave.
Okay, thank you very much. Excellent sharing, Anthony. Anthony is an electronic engineer, so you're very good in this electronic gadget things to expand. Very well. Thank you very much.
Again, John, they have to understand a little bit on our Kangen machine, why we also use electricity. Yeah. But our electricity, we didn't use waveform because of positive and the negative charge. So the water contain mineral, right? So the mineral is a metal. They stick to the negative pole. They call the anode and cathode. So the metal will attract to the negative poles. So they produce a negative. There's a negative water. There's a alkaline water.
I see. Got it.
So we are not using the waveform. Actually, it's an electrolysis charge. That's why they call electrolysis.
Oh, okay. So we become no harm now.
Yeah,
Right.
no harm. It's good because they separate the mineral. So that's why the negative pole, full of mineral. The alkaline water in the Kangen water is full of the mineral.
Great. Great.
So normal alkaline water, there's no mineral. It's just normal water. Because alkaline water, you can use salt, sodium, you can produce alkaline water. But you cannot split the acidic water. So
I see.
that's why there's no splitting. So that's why when we test, it's still the same pH. There's not alkaline.
Right. Got it. No wonder same pH. Yeah, correct. That's what I did in the Chinese session for this Tuesday. I put 9.5 inside, and then it actually also affected the molecule also. Also same thing. The molecule also very big, cannot even get the tea out completely. So then it showed that the molecule is still remain quite big. You are saying that the molecule only stay for a while, but when I do the 9.5 today, on Tuesday, you come and have a look. I using 9.5, put in, immediately produce. Immediately I pour it into the green tea. All the tea never come out, never draw out. Also very big microcluster one. I mean, not really the small one.
Yeah.
So it actually spoil my water, right?
Correct. Because
So destroy.
Also depend how new is the machine, because the type of machine, their lifespan is very short. Could be the machine that you borrow from them is already out of their lifespan.
Okay, I can check. But I look very new, so I'm going to after this talk, I got to return the machine already. I'll ask them. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Excellent. Any other question? Going three question more.
John, there's one question in the chat. Perhaps you can take a look at it. Hi, John. Recently, so many products in the market with bottle that claim could produce hydrogen-rich water. They told me it's different technology from ionizing and electrolysis. May I know what kind of technology they reusing?
Yeah. Okay. Now, it's a similar when they say about active hydrogen. As far as my knowledge is concerned, is that they're still using electrolyzers, but it's a matter. Some of them is the same thing using very low voltage. Some of them even using electrolyzers are produce active hydrogen using battery charger. Charge it up in the battery, right? Okay, and then it produces active hydrogen. And then when I try to measure it with the active hydrogen meter, I can tell you next to zero. They're actually not producing it. They're just based on talking game only, right? So you're just thinking to yourself, I got that one of the machine, the SWP, you also produce active hydrogen, and the active hydrogen actually pretty high with the machine. But then after you come up with a small jar and can charge the battery up one. But come on, you charge a battery using charger, all these things. How many voltage you can get up? Because in electrolyzers, in Kangen water need to be at least 230 volt.
Yeah.
Volt, So it does a charge have to be high in order to produce power, right? So in the market, it's a lot. But I normally overcome this objection just like this. You say it like this, very simple. You say that my Kangen K8 machine or ST501 is medically certified. Okay, medically certified means at least I know that the active hydrogen through the lab test or clinical study already been approved for drinking for health reason, better health reason. But other machines who produce it, you tell me whether they can provide any ministry approval. If the in Korea, show me a ministry approval of the machine with a medical grade device, then I can consider as comparable. Otherwise, you cannot compare a cat and a dog one. Correct? That's how I tell them. So I cut them short. I just say that I have peace of mind for your family and yourself. I better buy one that is medically certified by the country of make. Okay, thank you.
Okay, answer your question, Aaron. So any water that's still inside the bottle or inside the machine, and then the charges, they don't have an acidic water come out, and then don't have the alkaline water to come out. That means they don't split the water. That means the water still circle inside the container. So it's not called structured water. You come back to the same principle as what the terrorize or whatever brand they use it. The same type of principle.
Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. You're right. That means they're gimmick. They're going back and back.
So
And
is
then-
if anything that claim, there should be acidic and alkynes to split, because the pH of water is 14. So they must have a acidic come out and the alkaline to split. That's a structured water procedure. So if they don't have, that means it's through the waveform.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, thank you for the updates. Yep. Another question before we call it, we have already exceeded our time. Thank you for staying back. Really appreciate.
Okay.
Another question is, yes, we have the recordings available, for tonight's session, and
Yeah,
that will be
tomorrow.
that'll be available. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, tomorrow will be ready. I'll put the full length of video inside, and then you all can really go and learn the Buckwheat protocol. Okay, everyone must learn Buckwheat protocol. Even I myself also learning. But bearing in mind, every Saturday we're going to be the same time. And next week, more than likely, I invite Dr. Gawi's mother come and share how to make yogurt. Okay, how to make probiotic. So invite your friend to come and learn how to make your own probiotic. I'm making myself today. I've been learning making my own probiotic. Not only yogurt, normal one. It's very exceptional one. So I invited Dr. Gawi's mom, who specializes in yogurt making. So Indians are very good in yogurt making. Come and learn. And so you make your own probiotic. Thank you. Okay, anything else? If nothing else, I call it a day, but make an effort to come every Saturday, 8 p.m. We make it a point to share a different protocol all the time for health reasons. Besides, of course, Kangen water going with the main coverage, okay? Okay, thank you very much. I call it the day now. Is it okay, Aaron?
Okay. Okay.
Return the terabyte machine now.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the answers. Thank you for your participation. Have a blessed weekend. So this week is actually Easter Sunday. So we just want to wish you, and we look forward to seeing you next Saturday, same time at our session. So with that, thank you and goodbye.
Thank you,
Good night.
Aaron.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. You can
Thank you.
unmute and say hello to each one. I think
Yeah.
you're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yep.
No.